Hey everybody, 5thHorseman here, playing our Kerbal Space Program, and it's really dark, so I'm not going to talk too much before we start here, but I'm just telling you I'm cheating. Per Kerbal alarm clock, which I can't bring up because the game's paused, this guy has, in 6 days, I think, needs to launch to get himself back to Kerbin, because he has well over a grand of Delta V, which is plenty to get him back. We're going to get him into orbit around Kerbin, attach a parachute to him, and then land him so we get some science for that. Not that we need science, but hey, it's fun to do. The reason I have the game paused is because he has 10 battery powers, and he's in the dark, and I want to launch him because I have no idea how long it takes Gilly to rotate once around. I think it might be tidally locked to Eve, which means it's not going to be anytime soon that the sun's going to be rising. So I want to get up into space so we can get our solar panels out there. So I'm going to resume flight, and we are going to launch to the east, which is up. And his reaction wheels are crap. And I'm already... Actually, that is a really good orbit. That's kind of what I want. Yeah, because we're going to be coming around this periapsis, and then we're going to leave. So you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that. Perfect. Done and done. Okay, now we should plan our return here. It's in, like I said, it's in 6 days. That is hilarious. I didn't even plan for it. But what if we do it? What if we were to do this now? What if we were to add a maneuver node here? Get ourselves back to Kerbin. Probably set Kerbin as a target. Get our maneuver node back up. There we go. Let's see here. Where's that approach? It's kind of crap. Like I said, it's 6 days from now, so it's actually a ways away. What if we were to correct here? Minus 2.2, so... Wow, it's a lot. It always takes longer in interplanetary than you expect it to, just because... Okay, that's probably good. And we're still crappy as far as that's concerned. So we're not going to bother doing it now. We'll wait for the 6 days. Let me see how long his orbit is. Apoapsis is 2 days from now, so it's going to be like 3 orbits. So I think I'm going to add an Apoapsis alarm, just so we can check in on him again. Apoapsis, no Apoapsis found. Oh, I have to get out of Gilly. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do that. The 3 Eve Probelander is... Oh, wait, that's him. Or is that him? Yeah. Close alarm and unpause. Okay. Going around Eve. We got an achievement for going around Eve, even though we have gone around Eve before. Okay. But we are definitely in orbit. Now I can add an Apoapsis alarm, so let's go ahead and add that. And then let's go to the Gilly all-in-one, because he has a maneuver. Okay, what is this maneuver for? I believe this is my alignment maneuver. So that, yes, when we finish this maneuver, we will have our Eve encounter. And this is the maneuver where we're going to trick out our orbit so that we are coming in, basically hitting Eve, and... equatorial. We want to be equatorial so that we can without too much muss and fuss get a Gilly encounter. Now Gilly has an inclined orbit, but if our orbit is inclined worse, which it has a 50-50 chance of being, actually probably far more than 50-50 chance of being inclined differently in a bad way. So I'm just going to start off equatorial and we'll fix it from there. We should have plenty of Delta V. But anyway, this is 56 minutes away. It is a 332 meter per second burn, which I'm guessing is going to be probably about 5 minutes. So I'm going to crank up time until we're right at 0, which we now are. Let's go ahead and close the alarm and unpause. It is 3 minutes away. We're going to do a test burn now. Looks like I'm way off. I'm not way off, but I'm off enough that I'm a little annoyed, but... not a big deal. As before, I am not facing the sun, which seems weird to me, but hey. I thought for sure I had left myself facing the sun. But as before, I am going to speed up. Actually, I'm going to get myself aimed correctly. And then I'm going to speed up physics to 2 times, because 3 times makes this guy explode. At least 4 times doesn't. I'm afraid to do 3 times as well. And I will be back to you in about 3.5 minutes my time. Okay, we have our maneuver node, or our encounter coming down. We're in Eve's sphere of influence, which is step 1 of this process. I am going to get it right down on the line here like it is already, which the sun's in the way, but I'm going to get it basically down here. I'm going to go a little bit farther than the maneuver node says to. Then I am going to bring it in so that we are going around Eve this way, first of all, and we're basically touching Eve as well. So I'm just waiting for this thing to come all the way down. I'm now ignoring my maneuver node. I would go delete it, but I've only got a few seconds before I need to kill the burn anyway, and I don't want to screw this up. And a little bit farther, just a few more seconds, and done. Okay. Now I can delete my maneuver node, wherever it may be. There it is. Yes, that was it. Okay, now, I need to bring this guy, when we're on this side, because we're going to be meeting him over here, I want to bring it towards the sun, so I think I have to burn towards the sun. You may have heard me use that word, think. I don't do that often, and I don't do it well. And I also just realized I'm now aiming away from the sun, but I'm about as confident with my prediction as I could be, which is about 50-50. So I'm going to do a tiny little burn here and see what happens. That seems to be getting it closer, actually. It is, but it's going very slow, and I wasn't really expecting it to go that slow, so I'm going to try instead. Burning retrograde. Why not? To see what that does for my orbit. For my encounter, I should say. I could do all this with maneuver nodes, but that's no fun. That is doing absolutely nothing. So, I think I do... Whoa, I got some weird effects up in the upper left-hand corner. I hope that doesn't mean anything. I am still recording according to this. Yeah, that's actually making it worse. But I think this was going faster. I think it's just that my engine is so poor and the distances are so huge. So let me try this again here. Oh, get back over there. 62. Yeah, that's definitely a lot faster. So we're just going to do this burn here. We're getting our orbit really close to Eve. And actually, no, this is the escape. So we're actually on the right side. Because we want to come in this way and then arrow brake right here. On the dark side, which is awesome. So we're bringing ourselves down. We still got 1500 delta V, which is way more than we need. This is going to bring us right in here. We might need to normal a little bit once we get really close, but not a big deal. We're looking really good, actually. Really good. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. And right there. Oh, we're when we look at it from this side, we're within the atmosphere. So I think, you know what, I'm going to bring it down to 100. There we go. That's good enough for me. That is our encounter with Eve. We're going to come in here. We're going to swoop through the atmosphere. Aero brake so that we come out roughly. Let's see how much aero braking we need to do. Actually, not that much, to be honest. we could actually do this with our fuel fairly easily. But that'll bring us out roughly to Gilly's orbit, and then we'll circularize, etc. when the time comes. So we're going to do a very small amount of aero braking. I would be surprised if we had to do very much at all. So that, though, is for another day. Today, what we're doing is, let's see, we got to watch him leave the sphere of influence. That's boring. So I'm going to come back when the 3 Eve probe lander is at his next apoapsis, because we're gonna fix his whatchamacallit, his orbital tilt. That's the word. Okay, so I'll be back when we're doing that. Okay, I just remembered something I wanted to do here. We just left Kerbin's sphere of influence. I wanted to set up my, now that I'm out here, I want to set up this maneuver node to fix my encounter with Jewel. So first of all, I'm going to double click on Jewel so that we are looking at him here. And obviously I need to come south. So let's get the maneuver node and Jewel on the screen at the same time, like we like to do. So we want to come south to bring our maneuver node down, basically in line with the plane. Lots of stuff overlapping each other, but let me come over here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Bring it just down like that. And actually, yeah, this is Pole. Pole actually has a fairly flat orbit, give or take. Bop is the one that has the crazy orbit. So we want to come into Pole. So I'm curious here if we, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do at all. If we come in roughly on line with the orbit, just like that. And then also, I'm going to do it with a precise node here, radial ourselves towards the sun, I think it is. Yeah. And we're actually going the wrong way, so we actually want to radial ourselves more towards the sun to get on the other side of Jewel's orbit here. And then bring ourselves down a little bit further in the normal direction. And basically intercept Pole's orbit. This is my thought here. And then at here, how much is this going to cost? What if we just eschew the whole concept of aerobraking and circularize here? Node 1 is going to cost us 134. This is going to cost us a bajillion, so we're not going to do that. We are going to aerobrake at Jewel, unless we can get a lucky encounter somewhere else. Let's actually try for that. Let's just come through because if you recall, way back when I first went to Jewel, I got a lucky encounter with Vol that gave me a lucky encounter with Lathe that I didn't have to aerobrake, and it looks like I'm going to have to this time. So no bigs. We don't want to come in this far south, so let's bring ourselves up a little bit on the normal. I don't have to be this precise, but I like to. Okay, and then we're not going to go this far radial. We're going to go minus a little bit more, just to get our periapsis somewhere above the atmosphere. Let's turn off Cathane. Oop. Don't show the grid overlay. Okay, 177. That seems very reasonable. Doesn't really matter what we do as far as that's concerned. We got an encounter coming out, but that doesn't help us. So there's that node. It is in a bajillion years. It's 37 days away. Okay, maybe not a bajillion years. That's so weird. Oh no, that's my Gilly thing. Driloho Pole. Yeah, that's 202 days away for the maneuver node and 284 days away to actually get to Jewel. So that works for me. Now, back to our 3 Eve Probelander, which I've set up a maneuver node, and I'll show you that here. Sort of a potpourri episode. Sorry about that. If you don't like those, I kind of like them. But what I did here was, you'll notice that my galaxy doesn't go with the regular game's galaxy. So what I had to do was I had to here's my probe's orbit, and then there's the sun, and there's that. What I had to do was figure out that's right there. Eve is right there. Yeah, what I had to do is figure out where the plane of the ecliptic is compared to my probe, and I placed this thing here because I couldn't like set Kerbin as a target, because you just can't do that. So I created a maneuver node roughly where it would even out my orbit. And I can see already that I'm poorly set up, so I'm going to do it even more. And then that's basically it. That gets it on a nice line between, because that's Kerbin, or that's Jewel. Actually, Jewel is fairly set up. So that gets us on a fairly nice line between the sun and Jewel. And then this burn will straighten out our orbit so that when we do launch back to Kerbin, which has got to be there, yeah, we will be fairly flat compared to it. So let's go ahead and fast forward ourselves to this point. It's a tiny, tiny burn for this probe standards. been a while since we've seen Eve. With all the clouds over it, which just looks so cool. Let's close the alarm and unpause. I am going to hit F5. I suspect this burn will take, let's see, 30 seconds for 1200 meters per second. So less than 10% of that is going to be, less than 3 seconds. So we're going to say 2 seconds. But I hit F5 just in case I'm completely wrong. Because Engineer has been a little bit iffy lately. I think that's the nice way to say it. Yeah, this guy has like no reaction wheels. This is really old tech. This is it's amazing that I was able to get this thing here. Looks like about 3 seconds. I was off, but not by too much. I'm going to be fairly precise, although it probably doesn't matter that much. And there, I'm not precise at all. But let's check out our orbit here. Compared to the planets, it's pretty darn good. Okay, now we are still 5 days away. This is a day and some odd hours. So actually, we're going to be probably orbiting twice. But let's go ahead and get ourselves past Periapsis. And then at Periapsis, we're going to set up another maneuver node here just to see what would happen if we burned next orbit. Because if we'll get an encounter with Kerbin, I'll take it. Set Kerbin as our target. Let's not set Eve as our target. Let's use these maneuver nodes. Where is our magical... What's our... Yeah, we're off by 2 degrees, which seems a lot compared to what we did. Okay. Yeah, we're still arriving late. Let's... Now we're arriving early. See, that's... I hope this will work. But I think I'm going to wait. So, tell you what, I don't want this apoapsis anymore. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want a periapsis alarm. So let's go ahead and add that. And that's the next thing to happen, so let's go ahead. It's 3 days from now, which means we're getting really close to the... Yeah, we're definitely going to want to do it on this burn. I hate to do that, though. Okay, I have an encounter, and it's going to be tight. Our ejection is 250, and our correction is 700, which means we're going to have about 40 or so delta V left over when we're done with this burn, and it doesn't even give us a perfect one. But once we get this, getting this down to aerobraking shouldn't be a big deal. The hardest thing is going to be aerobraking it not too much. So it's a challenge, but if we lose it, we're not really losing anything. This is just for fun. So I've got the burn in 2 days. I am going to fast forward to it now. And I might even be able to fix it by burning a little bit more, because most of my burn here is radial. So if I do this maneuver node a little bit more, and then the other one a little bit less, it'll save me a lot of delta V. This is all things I should be doing with maneuver nodes and not guessing, but I feel like guessing. I don't know why it keeps slowing me down when we're really far away, but... Okay, let's close the alarm and unpause. It is a 7-second burn. We are not aimed at it at all. Luckily, our solar panels are in the sun, at least. We have that much going for us. Hopefully, we're going to be on the sunny side of Eve. I don't know where Eve is. Oh, there it is. But we're going to find out. If we have to, we'll burn early, I guess. Let's see what it looks like. I didn't even think about that. The fact that... Oh, yeah, we're fine. We'll be in the sun. I'm actually worried that my solar panels aren't facing the sun, but they apparently are. Apparently this one is getting sunlight, which works for me. Okay. So, 7-second burn. Let's go down to... Let's hit a 5. And then let's go down to about 5 seconds here. We're going to do this burn plus a tiny bit more. And then I'll reconnoiter the... Okay. Then I'm going to refigure this node. I'm just going to go minus and plus. That will reset it on the line I have found. And yeah, we don't have an encounter here, so let's minus our radial like 100. Boom. See, I just saved 100 delta V. Oh, no, I just wasted 100 delta V. Well, that's no good. I made it worse. I didn't want to make it worse. I wanted to make it better. So I actually want to slow down a little bit here. Oh, actually, I'm just going to go... Yeah, because that's the other maneuver node, so I want to go... let's say 10 meters per second this way. 728 is where I want to stop. Okay, now let's try plussing the radial. Nope, it's still bad. Oh well, we just got to deal with it. 582, 705 total, which is what we had before, but we just wasted like 10 or 15 meters per second. Oh well, that's what I get for flying by the seat of my pants. Okay, well, we don't care about his periapsis anymore. We care about his sphere of influence change, but you don't care about that. We don't care about this Eve to Kerbin alarm anymore. So the next thing that you're going to see is this. So I will come back when we're doing this burn and see if we actually can get an encounter with Kerbin and have enough meters per second left to circularize his orbit. Okay, we are 2.5 minutes from the 20-second burn. This is the one that's going to get us a Kerbin encounter. I'm actually going to zero in on Kerbin here. Yeah, according to this thing, I have to burn longer than I have. So I have a feeling this is going to be a big fail mission. But what can we do if we don't try? You know what? We're so far out in space, it's not going to matter. We're within the error of me placing that node. So I'm just going to burn now. And we're going to see what happens here as we come down. Ideally, getting an encounter with Kerbin before we run out of fuel, which I seriously doubt is actually going to happen. And there's our encounter. And Kerbal Engineer thinks we have no fuel. We actually have an entire liter of oxidizer and less than a liter. I'm assuming these are liters. Okay. Now, I definitely don't have the fuel to screw around. So, I'm going to add a maneuver here. If we go towards the sun, that will bring us into Kerbin. But we need 36 meters per second to even get within that. So, yep, failed mission. Oh well. I'm going to save this fuel. We have an orbit that crosses Kerbin's orbit. So, eventually, we're going to get a lucky encounter. Could be decades, centuries from now, who knows. But we'll worry about that later. Okay, Drilo 2, though. This is going to be a successful one. I can feel it. Let's jump to him and see what he's got. Lovin'. That's what he's got. That's where it's at. Okay. He's got 2 turntables and a microphone. Okay, he's got this encounter. This is to get our Kerbin encounter, right? I think. What the heck burn is this? Oh, yeah, this is to get our Kerbin encounter next orbit. This is a very long process here. Let's aim him at his maneuver node. It's a 600 meter per second burn. Yeah, he's another one of these that almost doesn't have enough fuel to do what we want him to do, but I think he actually does have enough. So it is 9 hours away. We're just going to crank up time. And much like the Eve probe, I'm just going to do the burn. Here, yeah. And then once we get it, we are going to check Kerbin and ideally get him on an actual intercept course. Okay, where is Kerbin on the orbit? That's his orbit. Here's Kerbin's orbit. Here's Kerbin. Okay, do we have an encounter yet? We do! It's a tiny, 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 tiny encounter. So let's see if we can actually get that to be a real encounter. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's an awesome encounter. Okay. Maneuver node, thank you. You are not needed anymore. And we still have an entire 27 meters per second, which I doubt seriously is enough to get this encounter. So it looks like we might have 2 failed missions here. Not that it's a big deal. We don't really care about these guys. This was just to see if I could. Okay. So we have the maneuver node now. Let's see here. We want to go normal positive, I think. No, actually normal won't do it. We want to go radial. Yeah, that's weird. It says I need 103 to do this, which is 1 meter per second. Oh, we're at 103 already? What? What? Let's delete that and add a new one. 103. That's kind of crazy. To do nothing, it takes 103 delta V. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's do this by tens here. Radial. Yeah, see, it's not actually changing anything. And there's only one maneuver node. I think there's something wrong. I am going to quick save and restore. Okay, I see what it was. It was putting the maneuver node, as KSP loves to do, on my next orbit, not my current orbit. So let's try to actually get it on the current orbit. No, let's get it on the current orbit. I love the game. I love this game. I love it so much. I just... See, oh, I can put it on this orbit. All I freaking want. Oh, that makes me mad. This game makes me want to cry sometimes. It's like the dolphins for Hootie. Yeah, I literally cannot click anywhere. Okay, I am going to just do it. I think if I go radially, that'll be right. Towards the sun. Let's watch our Kerbin encounter. We've got a whole 27 meters per second. I have a quick save that I can restore from, which I'm thinking about is fair because this whole problem is due to KSP's interface. Okay, so if I burn radially, yeah, see, we don't have anywhere near the meters per second. So he's dead too. So goodbye, Driloho to Moho. You have a... Yeah, we can't get rid of that. So our 3 Eve probe lander. He has an encounter node, but he has no fuel. So goodbye. And our next window is to Moho. So now we need to build the... what do we call it? Our Moho rescue ship. So you know what? I'm probably going to end the episode after we get that thing going. So I am going to... exit stage left here and build that ship, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, are you ready to see this massive craft that I have designed to return us from Moho? It is crazy. It is huge. It is actually not that big at all. It looks a lot like some lunar landers people have made in the past. Mooner landers, I should say. Yeah, it doesn't need to be any bigger than this. Let's go ahead and release him. And we've got Kerbal Engineer stats now. He has Kerbal Engineer stats now. If you see, he has a lot less Delta V than it said he did in the... Oh, there we go, 5,000. Okay, I was like, it said he had over 5,000 Delta V. And damn it, he has over 5,000 Delta V. Okay, let's get this panels open. Get his computer on so he doesn't turn anymore. We are not sending anybody into the ship because he has seating for 3, and there are 3 people at Moho waiting for rescue. Let's go ahead and activate the engine. Get ourselves away from the station here. Yeah, but basically what we're going to do here is we've got 7 days before Moho is going to go. I'm not going to show you this because we've done this twice already in the last couple episodes. So I'm gonna do the what I do normally, which is burn this way to get a nice Kerbin thing, and then burn myself to Moho or do something. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm going crazy. But we're going to do that. If I were to eject from low Kerbal orbit, it would take like $4,000 or so to get all the way there. So launching from Minmus as we are, it should be less. That's all I know. Looks like what we're going to do though is we're going to launch from here, and then as we swing by Kerbal, we're just going to keep firing that way. So unless something goes horribly wrong, I'm just going to end it here, and I'm not even going to show you all that in the next episode. We're going to start next episode building our Duna craft, I think. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm 5th Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.